Thank you. Next on our agenda is item 3, the consideration of the minutes of a June 10th, 2024 regular village board meeting.
Recording in progress.
It's an official meeting.
Is there a motion to approve the village board June 10th, 2024 minutes?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Are there any changes? I do not see any changes. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much. Next on our agenda is item 4, the non-agenda items and visitors. The village president and board of trustees allocates 15 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the village board of trustees on any matter not listed on the agenda. Each person addressing the village board of trustees is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. That's a lot of people not willing to make a comment, by the way. Do we have anybody online?
We have 2 folks joining us online. If you are looking to comment on something that's not on the agenda, please raise your hand and you'll be recognized at this time. Doesn't appear they're here for that, sir.
Thank you. Moving forward, item 5, the village board sets the order of the meeting. The village president and board of trustees will entertain requests from anyone present on the order of business to be conducted during the village board meeting. So I surmise everybody here is for item 11 and 12. And so we have put those items first, next. What else?
That's it.
That's it? Without any, I say we move forward. Thank you. I will ask Dave and Kathy to join me, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We celebrated this past June 10th, 2024, the 2024 Elmer Vliet Award. The Elmer Vliet Community Service Award recognizes individuals and organizations that have had a significant positive impact on the Lake Bluff community and who take personal pride in public service involvement in the spirit of community above self, which Elmer Vliet embodied. Today, we are celebrating the Phyllis Albrecht Award for Distinguished Service to the Village of Lake Bluff, conferred on a person who has made outstanding and exemplary contribution to the welfare of the Lake Bluff community and its residents. Past Albrecht Award recipients included Phyllis Albrecht, Tom Tincher, Janet and Herb Nelson, George and Pam Russell, David Graff, and last, Kathleen O'Hara. Here, quoting Mrs. O'Hara, the Albrecht Award will be given to those who exemplify the same exuberant spirit and love of community that Phyllis so abundantly possessed. Phyllis was a trailblazer in our community, and what I like to call her, our volunteer extraordinaire. And this is what we're here tonight to celebrate. I'm standing here with Kathy O'Hara and David Graff, both Albrecht Award recipients and both past village presidents. And we cannot think of 2 more deserving village residents than Greg Marsh and Mark DeWart for this award. So first, we'll have on our agenda item 11, a resolution honoring the public service of Greg Marsh and awarding him the Phyllis Albrecht Award for Distinguished Service to the Village of Lake Bluff. And I would like to invite George Russell to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. This is so much more fun than talking about wetlands, the golf course, or pickleball, or something like that. I nominated Greg for the Elmer Award about 3 months ago, and these three individuals decided that he deserved the Phyllis Albrecht Award. He is an amazing individual. I believe you're going to read the resolution in its entirety. The amount of hours that Greg has donated to this community are unbelievable. Completely. Just two personal stories outside of all of his fire department hours. And in case you don't catch Regis's French accent, these last 2 years alone, he's been a volunteer for 37 years with the department. The last 2 years alone, he has averaged 2 calls a day for 700 days. Right, Penny? All hours of the day? At night. Community, family gatherings, Greg goes. He's a great guy. Two personal examples. When my wife and I were building the orbs 8 years ago for the community, I get in over my head. I wasn't going to be able to finish. Kathy and Drew, my two big supporters, were going to kill me because it was the first time. And the day before Thanksgiving, or 2 days before Thanksgiving, they were supposed to be hung on the Monday following Thanksgiving. I sent out an email to many of my friends and said, can any of you come on Friday or Saturday and help put all the lights on the orbs? It's a project that involves putting on 10,000 lights. And Wednesday morning, I'm still working away on the frames and hadn't asked for anybody to show up on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, and then comes Greg. Worked all day the day before. Several years before that, Greg and I have always been involved in the Ghost Walk. My wife had a bad injury, had to go to the hospital. My set was behind, as always. And I got back from the hospital about 9:30. Pam was okay. She's still with us. And I walked into my set at the Public Safety Building, and there's Greg all by himself working away. Typical. Beyond all of his detailed contributions to the village, Greg Marsh is an exceptionally kind, caring, and considerate individual. He is very humble. Very humble. And he always greets everyone with a smile. And you all know it when you see Greg. He's got a great smile. He's the kind of guy when you're invited somewhere, you say to yourself, boy, I hope Greg is there, you know? He doesn't even have to be a big talker. It's just the vibe you get off of Greg. So, Greg, you are truly Mr. Lake Bluff. And I'm honored to know you.
I know, the Phyllis Albrecht Award, of course, was named for Phyllis Albrecht, who was the first recipient, and she also was the first woman elected as village president, something that we have achieved, which our friends to the south have not yet gotten that liberated. I am not. Sorry about that. This is an award that is truly designed for Greg. Exemplary. We are so proud of him in the fire department, as a friend, as a museum helper. He's just there. He exemplifies the very, very best of what we think of as our town as a town of volunteers, because we don't exist unless we are volunteers. That is what runs this town, and Greg Marsh is the epitome of a selfless volunteer for our community, even though you did a couple of things in 8th grade, which we will not discuss. Thank you for all your service.
As was described, I consider the Phyllis Albrecht Award the most significant award the Village of Lake Bluff grants. And it's to an outstanding citizen. It's not to a member of this board, that organization, to the fire department. It's to a citizen of the village that contributes across all areas, deeply impacts us all. I'm going to follow you, George, in a minute. All I can say is, if you have an emergency, if you have a need, if you need someone that can make good decisions under extreme conditions, Greg's your man. If you need someone to help you do a project, if you need someone to help move and set up tables, Greg's your man. If you need someone, frankly, to go have a beer with and just chat about things, have a good time, be on the lake, Greg's your man. He's an all-around citizen of Lake Bluff.
Would anybody else want to say a word about Greg, for Greg? Let's wait for a second. So I will call for resolution. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion to approve. Seconded.
Thank you. This is resolution number 2024-31, a resolution honoring the public service of Greg Marsh and awarding the Phyllis Albrecht Award for Distinguished Service to the Village of Lake Bluff. Whereas Greg Marsh, I did not write that by the way, so I'm really sorry about that. So Greg Marsh was born at Lake Forest Hospital and brought back home to his family residence in Norwood, where he lived for 12 years, before moving to the village of Lake Bluff, where he has remained, except for a brief time in Winthrop Harbor. Greg Marsh has lived continuously for more than 3 decades in various locations in the village of Lake Bluff, including homes on Gurney Avenue, Hearst Court, East Blodgett Avenue, East Scranton Avenue, Mormon Avenue, and since 2005, on the northeast corner of East Washington Avenue and Oak Avenue. And whereas Greg Marsh began courting his wife, Penny, 37 years after meeting her at the former Lake Bluff East School Children's Center drop-off kindergarten program, where they forged a bond to raise their respective families together in Lake Bluff and model community support and volunteerism for all. And whereas Greg Marsh, after finally succumbing to the unwavering persistence of his neighbor and Lake Bluff volunteer firefighter Steve Willard, broke down and joined the Lake Bluff Volunteer Fire Department some 37 years ago, and he has loyally and faithfully served the citizens of Lake Bluff ever since. And whereas, having served in a variety of capacities for the fire department, including firefighter, lieutenant, captain, and rescue diver, I didn't know that by the way, so thank you. Greg Marsh assumed the duties of Assistant Chief for the Lake Bluff Fire Department in September 2008, the role in which he serves and shines to this day. Whereas, with great thanks to the remarkable 24 hours, 7 days per week commitment of Greg Marsh, the Lake Bluff Fire Department provides exceptionally high-quality services and programs to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the village of Lake Bluff in a cost-effective manner. Whereas, during the past 2 years alone, Greg Marsh has participated in 693 fire-related calls, 776 EMS calls, nearly an average of 2 calls per day at all hours of the day and night, and has participated in 312 hours of fire department training events and contributed an additional 208 hours supporting numerous special events such as the Lake Bluff Criterium Bike Race, the 4th of July Parade, and the Lake Bluff Birthday Bash Fireworks Show, resulting in immense civic capacity through his public safety leadership, safety initiatives, and tradition that makes Lake Bluff great. And, remarkably, through it all, Greg has maintained and displayed a positive attitude, enthusiasm, and sense of purpose that is unrivaled. And whereas, in addition to his time spent serving on the Lake Bluff Fire Department, Greg Marsh has routinely volunteered over the past decades to help with other community events put on by the Lake Bluff History Museum, including but not limited to being a set builder and actor for the Lake Bluff Ghost Walk, demonstrating great dancing ability in the Ghost Walk Alien Invasion final that remains a topic of conversation years later, and assisting with miscellaneous tasks for the Holiday Home Tour, Lake Bluff Auto Show, and as well as many behind-the-scenes contribution to the museum. And whereas, notwithstanding his service as a dedicated and wonderful community volunteer, Greg Marsh continues to work full-time and to be a loving and dedicated father, grandfather, and husband. Whereas, the Phyllis Albrecht Award for Distinguished Service to the Village of Lake Bluff is conferred on Greg Marsh for his civic dedication and outstanding and exemplary contribution to the Village of Lake Bluff and its past, present, and future residents. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Village President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Lake Bluff, County of Lake, and State of Illinois that the Village of Lake Bluff hereby recognizes Greg Marsh for his many significant contributions to the village and its residents, and such recognition and the gratitude of the Village of Lake Bluff be publicly expressed to Greg Marsh for his service to the community, and that this resolution be incorporated in the minutes of this proceeding, and that an executive copy of the resolution be delivered to Greg Marsh on this day. Greg?
That was moving. I do have a couple of words, but after that, and George, thanks. From my heart. You're the best. Well, I was going to do a little bit of a history of Phyllis, but I don't need to do that anymore. But I'd stand here humbled and honored and thankful to receive this award. We all know that much of this village runs on volunteerism, and there are many volunteers that deserve recognition also. There are some that I would credit with instilling in me the drive and values and have brought me to this place today. Steve Willard, who recruited me, as we heard, 36 years ago, 37 years ago, and David Graff, my mentor for decades. Thank you. But none of this would ever be possible without the love and support of my lovely bride, Penny, and my family. They have supported me through. They have supported me through many years of interrupted sleep, meals, family gatherings, while I would run off and answer the call. Thank you. A salute to the fine members of the Lake Bluff Fire Department, my brothers and sisters, who share the same desire to contribute to the village and its residents. And finally, a wholehearted thank you to the village board, staff, and the residents at large for their support for all of the volunteer organizations that help make the village function and be a remarkable place to live and raise a family. Thank you very much.
It's a voice vote or a roll call?
Voice vote.
It's a voice vote. So all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And motion carries. Thank you very much. Next would be item 12, a resolution honoring the public service of Mark DeWart and awarding him the Phyllis Albrecht Award for distinguished service to the village of Lake Bluff. I would like to invite Sunny Lou for a few words. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Village President, Village Past President, thank you all your service first. And also the Board of Trustees, thank you very much for your service to the Lake Bluff as well. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sunny Lu, which we have today, the sunshine outside. That's my name. I'm honored to nominate Mark DeWart to receive the Phyllis Albert Award for Community Service. I know Mark quite a while ago, before we retired from Everlab. We served the same division. Then recently, we know each other more at the Forest Lake Bluff Rotary Club. And quite a few of the members here as well to show your appreciation and support. I nominate Mart not only because our friend, and then also he's a good-looking old man. Okay, today we gather to honor and celebrate a remarkable individual whose dedication have made a profound impact on our community. Mark, your tireless effort and unwavering commitment to service exemplify the very best of humanity. Let me give you a few examples. He led and also inspired a group of people from Lake Forest College and the Lake Bluff, Lake Forest Rotary Club, and other club to pack the food as a record number at the food bank. And that's just one of the example. You're able to lead and inspire people. Recently, just last weekend, he was busy at the Lake Bluff car show, the NT car show. And I went there early, just check on him, see whether, and he was beat me by quite a few hours. Already there, set up a tent, doing everything. And another example, and I'm sure he's gonna serve and running around at the 4th July Lake Bluff parade. So he is the type of person just couldn't rest. You know, retirement, you have to enjoy yourself, right? But service become his enjoyment. That's pretty nice. Through Mark, your action, you have touched countless lives, inspired hopes, and fostered a spirit of unity and compassion of Lake Bluff. We are truly grateful for your extraordinary contribution and the positive change you have brought to our community. Congratulations on this well-deserved award. Your work serves as a shining example to us all, and we're looking forward to witness the continued difference you will make in the lives of others. Thank you for being a beacon of hope and inspiration. Thank you.
I probably will say a few words first before reading this resolution. I first sat on this board where Shana is sitting, where Taryn is sitting, and I was sitting right next to you, Mark. And I was pretty new at that job, even though I grew up with that kind of environment with my dad. And I was touched by your spirit. I was touched by your wisdom. And I was touched by your care for being here and providing, not service, but being of service of his community. And I looked at you. I looked very much at how you were with people, how you care about, how you care being with people. And I thought it was exemplary. I did not vote for it. I saw it coming in front of us, and I thought Mark is the perfect person for that. So thank you. So I would like to call for a motion to approve this resolution from the board.
Motion to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. And this is going to be a resolution number 2024-32 as a resolution in honoring the public service of Mark DeWart and awarding the Phyllis Albrecht Award for distinguished service to the village of Lake Bluff. Whereas Mark DeWart has resided in the village of Lake Bluff since 1982, and through his dedication and passion for community service, he has served in numerous leadership roles and made a lasting impact on the community where he and his wife, Sharon, have raised their family. And whereas, since moving to Lake Bluff, Mark DeWart has been involved in the leadership at Grace United Methodist Church in Lake Bluff community, where he has helped forge community engagement by serving on numerous church committees, including chair of a council of ministry, president of a Lake Bluff Community Development Association that advocated for local senior housing, and president of a board of trustees. And whereas, in order to provide vision, stewardship, valued services, and foster a vibrant community culture to enhance the quality of life of all Lake Bluffers, Mark DeWart entered Lake Bluff local government and was first elected to the office of Lake Bluff Village Trustee in 2011, again in 2015, and at the request of then Village President Kathleen O'Hara, came back to serve from January 13, 2020 to May 10, 2021 for the balance of a term of a trustee who moved out of the area. And whereas Mark DeWart, while serving as a village trustee, sought to promote integration of a village strategic plan within all aspects of village administration, as Drew can actually testify. Every time. And planning by balancing effective community services and village income sources, sustaining and enhancing a diverse local economy, maintaining a balance of housing alternatives to ensure the viability and vitality of our community, supporting intergovernmental cooperation to constantly assess cost efficiencies among local municipal park and educational facilities entities, and supporting open housing development, including Stonebridge, Bath and Tennis, and Lansdowne subdivisions. And whereas Mark DeWart, as a village trustee, was a steward of village resources and strengthened the financial stability and independence of a village by making numerous contributions to the village fiscal policies, processes, and practices, including supporting multi-year budgeting, maintaining the village a AAA bond rating, saving taxpayers approximately $95,000 from the refinancing of the 2004 bonds in 2011, and updating the village investment and cash management policy. And whereas, among Mark DeWart's many contributions as a village trustee were his efforts to bolster community development and fortify public assets and systems by supporting economic development agreements and plans for the target development, encouraging redevelopment as prescribed by the Waukegan Road Corridor Plan, ensuring the future competitive advantage of a village by attracting new residents and businesses through his dedication to the village branding initiative. Love that. Establishing planning principles and new development review processes for the central business district, and improving village infrastructure, water mains, and sewer system improvements. And whereas, in addition to his duties as village trustee, Mark DeWart took an additional roles, including chair of a village board finance committee, alternate director to the Central Lake County Joint Action Water Agency, village board liaison to the multi-jurisdictional fire EMS services task force, chair of a village Quasquicentennial celebration committee, chair of a village annual birthday bash celebration, board member of a Lake Bluff History Museum, chair of a Lake Bluff History Museum Auto Show, chairman of Gorton Community Center and Foundation, co-chair of a Village of Lake Bluff Ad Hoc Business Advisory Committee, and chair of a Lake Forest Lake Bluff Senior Resource Commission Board and member of their senior citizen foundations. And whereas, Mark DeWart, complete underachiever right there. Whereas, Mark DeWart, on a larger scale, continues to provide services to others, promotes integrity and advance world understanding and goodwill, in solidarity with fellow business professionals and community leaders through his service as past president, International Service Board, and member of the Lake Forest Lake Bluff Rotary Club, where he has furthered Rotary International mission and coordinated numerous club-wide Feed My Starving Children events, packing several thousands of meals for needy children around the world. And whereas the family of Mark DeWard, including his wife Sharon, their two sons Stephen, married to Sharokina, and John, married to Sarah, and daughter Elizabeth, have supported and contributed greatly to his service and accomplishments benefiting the village of Lake Bluff. And whereas the Phyllis Albrecht Award for Distinguished Service to the village of Lake Bluff is conferred on Mark DeWard for his civic dedication and outstanding and exemplary contribution to the village of Lake Bluff and its past, present, and future residents. Now therefore, be it resolved by the village president and board of trustees of the village of Lake Bluff, county of Lake, and state of Illinois that the village of Lake Bluff recognizes Mark DeWard for his many significant contributions to the village and its residents, and such recognition and the gratitude of the village of Lake Bluff be publicly expressed to Mark DeWard for his service to the community, and this resolution be incorporated in the minutes of this proceeding, and that an executive copy of the resolution be delivered to Mark DeWard on this day.
Mark, you have been a rock on the board. Could not have succeeded with any of the things that we did without your help. I had to coerce you to take over the Quasqui Centennial Chair, and you made it into a wonderful event. You are a rock on the museum board, certainly as exemplified by what was a really fun car show this weekend, which exemplifies the very best of Lake Bluff with people and camaraderie and everything else. You're never rattled. You're always there. And you are a true volunteer and a true bluffer. And thank you so much for all your help and continuing help.
Mark, as I listened to the listing of the organizations and leadership positions that you've had through so many different aspects, you don't know how to say no. And thank goodness. I would like to focus and add to all of that, to your service to this village as a member of the Board of Trustees. What you did on this board and the period of time that you served on this board and the way you dealt with some pretty interesting issues we had and some pretty interesting discussions and so forth should stand as an example to all of us as how we can serve this village on a position such as the village board. Your ability to work through issues, find the best course for the village, and help bring some people along with you will stand well for us for many of the foundational decisions that were made during your period of time. For that, I, as a resident, thank you specifically, and is just another indicator of why you should get this award. Thank you.
Thank you to the board, thank you to you folks for selecting me for this. Sonny, it was particularly humbling for Sonny to nominate me. Sonny and I go back 40-something years. One of the first people I met and worked with at Abbott Laboratories. And Sonny, you're a great guy. Still a great guy. Thank you. I wasn't going to say that. David or Kathy, volunteerism, and Greg pointed this out before, is so critical to what we do in Lake Bluff. And I'm not sure if it's I can't say no, or you stand in one place too long and you get snagged for, you know, fill in the blank, everything. But for that, I truly appreciate the opportunity to volunteer and the opportunity to serve for the village and the community, the greater community as well. And it's truly been an honor. And speaking of honors, to share this with my friend Greg is a real honor. And I thank you for that, because Greg's a great guy. And it's a real privilege to do this. And the class of 24, or whatever it is that they call this here, you know, but thank you all very much. I appreciate it. I'm humbled. And I appreciate the recognition. Thank you all very much. Sonny's the official photographer at Rotary. He gets lots and lots of experience.
Don't forget that.
Don't forget that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
For anyone that would like to join us, some of us are planning to head over to the Lake Bluff Brewery and toast Greg and Mark. Please do join us if you'd like.
I still need a vote on this resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Brewery to the minutes? Yes, that'll be the minutes. Reflection of the minutes.
Yeah, I have no calendar. Right, everything's like that.
Get him a new one.
It's literally the date because we have no agenda. And that could have happened without.
Do we have executive sessions? No. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, my friend. It's nice to have That was all I needed.
I didn't take it with me. I didn't want to not leave it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
What about the downtown?
I'm going to snag the box up right now.
However, I have,
Sitting at the table, eating and
Thanks, Eric. Thanks,
Bye,
Eric.
Keith.
Bettina is not here. She's sick. You'll do it? Okay.
You know, it is.
No.
Not
can
yet.
be, it
It's
can
coming.
be.
It's coming.
can be, just take it now. Just take it without.
Let's do it now.
Without objection, trustees, we could take item 13. 13. Next.
Sure.
There are no objections, sir.
No objections. So moving on to item 13, a resolution approving a pre-intergovernmental agreement by and between the Village of Lake Bluff and the Lake County Stormwater Management Commission for stormwater management improvements to the West Scranton Avenue Viaduct and drainage system. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. To reduce the frequency and duration of flooding in the West Scranton Viaduct area, like 2 days ago, the village identified certain improvements as part of a village-wide stormwater modeling and planning study. As you are aware, the village has actively sought financial partners to fund further study, design, and the construction of improvements for the past few years. Fortunately, the Lake County Stormwater Management Commission, SMC, has agreed to be the lead agency and take on Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering for the proposed drainage improvements to the Scranton Avenue Viaduct, as also known as the Deep Tunnel Project, in a manner so as to be eligible for other potential federal funding opportunities. Additionally, SMC is willing to help fund the construction of Deep Tunnel Project Phase 3 by applying for support via the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Stormwater Capital Improvement Programs. Should the SMC be successful in securing the Stormwater Capital Improvement Program funds, then it is anticipated that those grant monies will be subject to the Stormwater Capital Improvement Program policies and procedures, including any final grant agreement provisions between the state of Illinois, the Stormwater Capital Improvement Program, and Lake County, similar to those, including the template agreement in attachment B. To memorialize and plan for those anticipated grant provision, DCAO is requiring the SMC to enter into intergovernmental agreements with all local sponsors, like the Village of Lake Bluff, for inclusion in their application to DCAO. Given their preliminary nature, modifications to these agreements are anticipated. The village attorney suggested changes have been incorporated into the attached draft, and the village administrator recommends approval to keep the village in a prime position to receive additional funding from SMC. And if you want to say a few words. Yes, please state your name and your address. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My name is Sandy Hart. I'm the chair of the Lake County Board. I'm also a resident of Lake Bluff. I just want to say thank you so much to the Village of Lake Bluff for your many years of working towards fixing this massive stormwater issue that has plagued residents for so long. Stormwater Management Commission does an excellent job in tackling important stormwater and flooding issues across Lake County, but we really can't do it without the excellent partnership of the villages. And I just really want to thank this board for your willingness to sit down and talk about what can sometimes be difficult agreements, and to really come together and find consensus on the best way forward. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I would like to respond to your comment by saying that working with the county and SMC with Kurt is absolutely exemplary, and I could not think of a better set of partners to work with our village. So thank you very much. Are there any questions, discussions, or concerns on the board? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll. It's a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much. Thank you. Next on our agenda is item 6, our village finance report. And that would be our warrants report for June 11 to June 24, 2024, and our fiscal 2025 payroll expenditures. Is there a motion to approve the warrants report?
So moved?
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you very much. And specifically, that would be our, it would be attached for our consideration, the May 2024 finance report, noteworthy items. Nope. That's that one. It's not that one. I swear I had it somewhere. I'm really sorry about that. Thank you. So that would be, I'm sorry about that. As a summary of background and reason for request, that would be for expenditures of village funds for payments of invoices in the amount of $462,483.97 for June 11 to June 24, 2024, and expenditures of village funds for payment of payroll in the amount of $478,323.82 for May 2024, for total expenditures of $940,807.79. Are there any questions on the board for this report? And I see no questions on the board. Seeing no questions, this is a roll call. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Fried,
Aye.
Trustee Hatch,
Aye.
Trustee Fisher.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Thank you very much.
That needs the president's vote. Apologies. Call the clerk.
President Charlot.
Yes, thank you. Next would be our May 2024 finance report. And I would defer to you for
sure.
this report.
Nothing really noteworthy in this report, other than to say we're starting off the new fiscal year with strong sales tax. The food and beverage tax is down a little bit, but still trending. I think I reported the last meeting, we peaked last year at the conclusion of the calendar year and fiscal year for the village in terms of sales tax. So is a key indicator of the village's financial health, that continues to be strong. That's about all I would note.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did not call for a motion on this item. Could I please have a motion on the finance report?
Motion to approve. Or
Motion to
submit.
accept.
Accept. Seconded.
Thank you. It is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much. Next on our agenda is our village administrator's report.
I have no report.
Thank you. Followed by our village attorney's report.
I have no report.
Thank you. And I have no report either. Followed by item 10, that would be our acceptance of a correspondence. Gone forward. We'll give a breather to Drew for a second.
All good.
All good?
All good.
Next is our acceptance of a correspondence. Please note that all correspondence was delivered to the Village Board of Trustees in the informational report on June 7 and 14, 2024. Is there a motion to approve, to accept the correspondence?
Motion to accept the correspondence. Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? It's a voice vote. It is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you. And skipping over item 11, 12, and 13, we have item 14, that is our trustees' report. Do any trustees wish to make a report tonight? Thank you. Do we have an executive session
No,
tonight?
sir.
We don't. Okay, so I guess I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Thank you. And we're adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Well done.
Thank you so much.